Now, you backed Skyroot in 2021 when India's private space sector was still in its infancy. What exactly did you see then that convinced you that this wasn't just an ambitious project, but a viable business opportunity?
Great to be here and also great to be part of this historic launch of Skyroot and see that journey up close. It's been just fascinating. Prior to setting up AUM Ventures, I was investing for a family office, and I had invested in SpaceX in 2019. So I'd looked at the space sector very closely. And as I set up AUM Ventures, the idea was to back innovation coming out of the country. And space tech was something which was emerging. Over the years, ISRO has been doing a fantastic job in terms of putting space right up there in terms of competing globally and really achieving some big milestones like the Mangalyaan and the other missions. So it was just a matter of time that private companies will also start. And that's where as part of our process, we met with several space tech companies, and then met with the Skyroot team, and the team really stood out for me, also because launch business is fundamental to the space economy, right? Because launch is something which then enables any space tech startup to take their infrastructure to space and build different solutions for the space overall. So we felt that launch fundamentally solves that problem. And Skyroot had a great team. Both
Right.
of the founders were ex-ISRO scientists, so that kind of also led us to the conviction.
Right. Chetan, let's get on the brass tacks next. While Vikram 1 is a technological milestone, no doubt, the fact is investors like you eventually need commercial returns. So what are the revenue opportunities that now become actually real for Skyroot or for any other space tech companies for that matter after the successful launch of Vikram 1?
I think the successful orbital launch definitely reduces the tech risk, right? Which is one of the biggest barriers for commercial adoption. And therefore it enables launch providers to, convert this customer interest into now recurring commercial contracts and really build, a proper predictable launch cadence. And I think that's where Skyroot will be working next in terms of proving its regular cadence, proving reliability, and therefore then kind of have a lot of these customer contracts who are actually waiting, because globally there are very few launch players. So I guess those will start kind of creating opportunities for the company. And of course, as launch becomes more accessible, the demand really increases for satellite manufacturing, other propulsion systems, space robotics, earth observation, and so on. So I think there is launch is one part of the value chain, but there is so much larger economic opportunity which the ecosystem can enable.